You four are the chosen ones who will protect the four weapons of Spinjitzu from Lord Garmadon.
But what about my sister? We're saving a girl? Is she hot?
Our heroes, everyone! Welcome, dear viewers, to the Ninjago pilot retrospective. Time to start what is inevitably going to be my longest running project. Look back at all of Ninjago's history and lore. If you're new here, hi. This is the From Bricks to Film YouTube channel. We're talking about LEGO themes and the shows that stem from them. Overall idea of this channel, we will talk about all different LEGO themes that fit this criteria. And of course, we're starting with LEGO Ninjago. Not only because it's the most popular, but because it's the oldest and longest running. So we'll definitely take a while to get through everything. So better start here and wait till later. But before we can start talking about the series itself, let's talk about the theme creation. Honestly, Ninjago started out like most themes do. LEGO was just after the next Big Bang theme. But the design team had set a target for the new theme to deliver 10% of the company's total revenue, almost double the sales of the previous Big Bang product line, LEGO Atlantis. But no LEGO theme has ever achieved this target, not even the successful Bionicle, but they would do it, and they would bet it all on the elusive ninja. The focus on a ninja was the direct result of research of children's interests. The Ninjago product development team in Fort Lee, New Jersey, here in the United States, spent several days monitoring groups of 8 to 10-year-old boys to gauge their reactions to various concepts, and the mystery and magic around the black-clad ninja was it. Before the development team could start anything, the concept went through several rounds of testing to refine the final product, in order to produce a very successful line. Having the Ninjago team take a trip to the Ninja Museum Ikaryu in Tokyo, Japan, in order to get inspiration for the theme. This allowed the designers to gather historic details on the 15th century ninja and the buildings of the time. Eventually, the first story concept for the theme originated in a rough sketch created by senior creative manager Tom Andresen on Friday evening in 2009, which was later sent to an artist, Craig Selters, who created the initial concept image of the characters over that weekend. The very original sketch, created, depicted several elemental ninja with the word Spinjitzu, which would later be converted to the brand name Ninjago, which I didn't know was formed from the combination of two words, ninja and Lego. Later on, Tommy Andresen would say,
"It wasn't until we started developing a fantasy theme that we saw it can become a building toy too. So you can put a ninja on a dragon." The kids found that appealing and very natural. But figuring out the enemies of the ninja was more of a challenge, and we tested a lot of things.
The first of the new sets to be released were spinners, basically tops that could hold the minifigure to then battle. Tommy Andresen would explain that
We had the idea of the action toys. How can you make a minifigure come to life and fight with it? That's how the spinner came about. The first iterations of the spinner were actually built from Bionicle elements and looked more like a throwing star with a ninja on top.
I can actually show you one of the those Ninjago spinners right here. I think this is the Cole DX, the Dragon Extreme version. And as you can see, just a very big piece. It's quite heavy too. Sure is weight. Never knew that about anyone who ever talked about these. Did not mention how heavy they are, so they can stay relatively balanced. Yeah, I'm gonna take any random. Here, let's take this more recent cool figure. Holds pretty well. Sorry. And you select spin. You know? Ninjago. Yeah. Just like that. There are, I actually didn't want to figure out, some other attachments you can add. Such as, bricks on the side to block, any round brick can go on the bottom to raise it up, and I did get one of those booster packs you would be getting more so in the second wave of spinners, with the snakes and all that. You got these extra chains, which I swear were supposed to go in here, but they do not fit. These are not pin size, they do not fit, and I swear they should go in here, so maybe that's the second style of spinners, which I actually didn't buy to see if it even fit. I swear this would fit, but nope, it does not. So, very weird. I guess since I have this one, I can try to spin it, but it'll be very hard to spin. And I don't know if I ever mentioned, the goal of the spinner game was to, knock the other opponent out. So zoom out a little. Ninja. Yeah, that one does not work as well, so yeah. The goal is to get knocked out. And also, we do have, the cards that, again, made it feel very just like something out of like a Pokemon or Bakugan sort of thing, even with those cards. So, there is that. So anyway, besides a besides the clips, there's something but a fully loaded spinner could potentially look like, so yeah. The original sets were great, very quaint, yet awesome, with big skulls and dragons, and cool temples. It felt like Ninjitsu, like feudal Japan come to life. Along with the LEGO Ninjago product line, there was a variety of other media also created, including a Ninjago board game for LEGO Games, filmed world for LEGO Universe, video game with TT Games, launched in April 2011, and most exciting of it all was an animated Ninjago Master Spinjitzu TV series that would be launched in January 2011. The series was created by Michael Hegner and Tom Andresen and would be animated in Denmark by Will Film APS. And the first episode would air January 14th, 2011 on Cartoon Network, a 2-part special. I think it's time I talked about the show, huh? With part 1, Way of the Ninja. We see a mysterious old man walking up to a village where he stumbles upon a would-be blacksmith named Kai and his sister Nia at their shop. The set, yes, they did make one, looks nothing like the proper building in the show, being much more of a sad shack, even forgoing the sign. Anyway, this old man saying he was looking for weapons befitting a ninja, and Kai basically tells them that he's crazy.
Either buy something or go peddle your insults somewhere else.
The old man backs off and does a ninja vanish or something. But just as Kai realizes this, a dark cloud engulfs their small village. Then, all of a sudden, a big A monster truck and several motorbikes rev out up on a hill. As skeletons state they are looking for a map, and they pile out and begin attacking, Kai warning his sister to stay behind. In my own findings, the introduction of skeletons as the main villains in the storyline was a result of research LEGO has done with different age groups. The kids in the research groups were given the choice of 6 options, including monkeys, skeletons, robots, lizard people. The overwhelming preference was for skeletons, which is kind of boring if I'm honest, but they're spooky and scary, so. Also, the big-headed skeletons were, in relation to the figures, in my opinion, were too big. But I do like the personality of the small-headed skeleton. And the pre-existing LEGO skeleton got a new mold, adding spine detail, along with the feet, having square boots now. Their vehicles are very metal. I mean, a biker gang bike with a slam-down feature, monster truck with hand missile, suspension, and biting face. The purple accents are also a nice touch. And the skull face builds are really advanced and big brain for the time. Anyhow, the skeletons soon overwhelm Kai as he tries to fight them off. Nia comes to his aid, and 2 skeletons sneak behind them, whose bumbling antics somehow allow them to find the elusive map.
Looking hard enough.
Ow! You're not looking hard enough.
Back on the battlefield, Kai gets knocked down by a 4-armed skeleton. But before he can finish him off, a mini golden tornado crashes into him, revealing the old man from earlier.
Sensei Wu, your Spinjitzu looks rusty. Nothing like bone to sharpen its edge, Samukai.
Samukai is the best looking figure. The 4 arms, the opening jaw, and unlike the other molded heads, his didn't look awkward. It easily works off the new skeleton body mold. His Samukai then throws his daggers at a water tower to collapse on Kai, but Wu saves him, allowing the skeletons to get away. Or they also kidnap Nia, saying that the order comes straight from Lord Garmadon, a fact that troubles Wu. The skeletons, Retrospective, get away. Kai is obviously upset and demands to go after them, but no mortal can follow them to the underworld. You mean your sister?
Oh, you could have done something! You could have used your twist-itsu or your...
Spinjitzu.
But you did nothing.
Wu then exposits on the lore of Ninjago.
Long before time had a name, Ninjago was created by the first Spinjitzu master by using the 4 weapons of Spinjitzu. The Scythe of Quakes, the Nunchucks of Lightning, the Shurikens of Ice, and the Sword of Fire. When he passed away, his 2 sons swore to protect them, but the oldest was consumed by darkness. A battle between brothers broke out, and the oldest was struck down and banished to the underworld. And for fear of his own demise, a map for an honest man to hide.
By the way, this is the only time we see the face of the first Spinjitzu master. With a grain of salt because no one else looks the same, but whatever. Wu says they need the weapons which were hidden because their powers together were too great for one man in order to defeat Garmadon along with this Spinjitzu fighting style.
Lord Garmadon.
Okay. Then when do we start?
With Kai on board, they head up a mountain to a monastery, where Wu converts its grounds to a training course. The official set looks nothing like the one in the show, only being a simple front gate, but with the release of the Legacy version, they nailed it, though mine has been greatly expanded. Anyway, it's time for training.
Oh dear.
Ahem! Training day! Kai manages to successfully run the course, preventing Wu from drinking his tea.
Was that 1 sugar? Or 2?
That's not how you do tea in this context, because Wu is most likely drinking some sort of Asian style of tea, like green or oolong tea. Sugar is mostly added to black tea, which is predominantly drank in the UK, and also Turkey. Anyway, Kai has one final test in the morning, and is told to get plenty of sleep, and we see him getting ready to do so, until...
My practice is to get
This!
the other ninjas show up, and appear to be other students of Sensei Wu. Where he transforms them into new robes and gives them new weapons. Settling on the 4 different colors of red, blue, white, and black, plus a green one later. All 4 heroes have unique skills, personalities, and elements consisting of fire, earth, ice, and lightning. Still don't know why these are the main elements. Maybe to be different from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which just ended, to be different. And it's interesting that the ninja colors, along with the yellow skin, are the original Lego brick colors. Another fun fact, apparently the original names are going to be Dante, Poe, Blake, and Whitman. But of course, now we know them as Kai, Jay, Cole, and Zane. I will go over the behind-the-scenes reason on the voice cast in the future. Just know that the ninja are voiced by Vincent Tong, Michael Adam Levy, Kirby Morrow, and Brent Miller, respectively. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about the original ninja suits. On the one hand, some older LEGO themes seem to have more actual printing, but on the other hand, the few prints that are there have more detail, with braids on the rope and also the cloth wrinkles. Anyway, back to the plot. Wu says it's time to head out to find the first golden weapon. When Cole asks them if they're ready, Wu says they already learned the techniques of Spinjitzu and will use them when the time is ready. The heroes approach a mountainous cave in search of the Scythe of Quakes. Which, why is it the Scythe of Quakes? All the other weapons got Sword of Fire, Shurikens of Ice, Nunchucks of Lightning, so why not, Nunchucks of Storm, Shurikens of Blizzard, Sword of Flame, whatever. Anyway, on the way, Kai asks how the other ninja got recruited, and we learn that Cole was a rock climber, Jay was testing his wingsuit invention, and Zane was going for some breath-holding record or something. Each flashback does show off their skills. Cole being strong and athletic, Jay's brilliance, and Zane being able to push his own physical limits. Kai has some skills in being a blacksmith, but that wasn't really seen in the part of the episode earlier on. Anyway, at the cave, known as the Caves of Despair, then you just see the Skullkins mining for the weapon. Wu warns the team not to use the Scythe of Quakes, saying its power is too strong for mortals to wield. You mean, like the ninja? I mean, using an earthquake maker in a cave is a bad idea. Next time, just say that. Anyway, the other ninja try to come up with a plan, but Kai goes like, Leroy Jenkins! Then heads off. All the ninjas sneak through the mining operation and find Samakai's tower.
What's the matter with you? Shh.
They find that the skeletons are digging in the wrong place, so they steal the map and head deeper into the cave.
Whoa! That is so cool! Whoa!
Shut up, Jay. Anyway, the ninja procure the weapon, but are quickly surrounded by the Skullkin, where the ninja fight them off. And start losing bad.
There's too many of them! Let me handle that!
But Jay figures out how to do Spinjitzu, and the rest of the ninja follow his lead and are able to push the Skullkins and retreat.
Guess they didn't want a second serving of these babies. Good thing they didn't check out the merchandise in the back.
The ninja are soon cornered by a guardian of the weapon, a dragon. This dragon, besides its heads, looks nothing like the set. Does it even have wings? Which I do prefer. Why would an earth dragon need wings? I mean, it's a drake. Anyway, to escape the beast, Kai decides to use the scythe, which again is a bad idea to use a quake maker inside of the cave, but it works, and they bury the dragon. And jump up through a crack in the ceiling.
We'll use Spinjitzu.
Sensei Wu berates them, Kai yelling back, all he wants to do is rescue Neo. Wu just says they'll do better next time.
Think you're more important than the team, huh? Huh?
They took my sister, remember?
There are still 3 weapons left. Maybe next time you can do it right.
In the part 1, we see Samakai having a conversation with Lord Garmadon, voiced by Mark Oliver, off screen, saying that they will get the ninja when the time is right.
They have learned Spinjitzu, and they have the scythe.
Good.
If I gather my army, we can easily ambush them at night.
No. Let them think they're winning.
I do not understand.
Everything is going to plan.
The launch of the TV show and the overwhelming popularity of the theme resulted in a 20% increase in sales in the first quarter of 2011 for the LEGO company, with the Ninjago line making the highest single-year sales for any LEGO original product line in the company's history. And while there were no specific numbers on viewership, it was an obvious hit. Yes, LEGO Atlantis did have a mini-movie, but Ninjago sure ups the quality for sure in the show's production. So let's get back to the show. So, unfortunately, I really struggled finding the second half of the pilot episode, only managing to find the abridged version for Part 2, King of Shadows, and not even all of it, but the rest did jog my memory, so let's just get back into it. Our team head out to find the other weapons and get a montage for the Shurikens of Ice, in which Zane gets ice cubed by the Ice Dragon, seemingly to be missing all his orange, and then Nunchucks of Lightning, where they use Jay's wing gliders to freefall because, interesting fact, the Nunchaku were located in an abandoned floating city. Neat. Also, Flame Dragon is my favorite in both show and set form, being the only actual dragon, but I just like the dragon. It has cool colors. You don't know what I meant. Sometime later, we see the ninja and the sensei bonding over a campfire, and then they go to bed, where Kai is called into the woods by seemingly his sister. But after chasing her to the fire temple, it's revealed that Nia was Lord Garmadon. The fire temple looks really downscale, obviously. They couldn't do the whole thing, but I still wish there was some indication of a volcano or lava, or at least one of the front gates would have been nice too. Garmadon tricks Kai into claiming the Sword of Fire for him, using the real Nia as bait, in which Kai then pulls a sword and uses his Spinjitzu to rescue her, but then Garmadon uses some shadow magic to make a Shadow Kai to fight him and ultimately steal the sword. Sensei Wu then shows up and defeats the Kai shadows. They all try to escape, but a dragon rises out of the lava, as one does, and then blocks the front door. After being shown the other ninja are in the process of being taken, Wu takes the Sword of Fire, jumps down the lava waterfall into the underworld, with it being an attempt to save everyone. It is kind of a sound plan. By the way, for those wondering, no, the people in the universe are not made of plastic. The Lego style is just the way the characters are styled. Much like claymation, characters are in-universe, not made of clay. For the last part of the episode, I'm going to mostly supply my own footage. I hope you enjoy. Somehow, the other ninja beat back the skeletons and Kai and Nia join up with them, or they plan to rescue Wu. They plan to use the guardian dragons to head into Underworld, because dragons can cross into other realms. Wait, what? So the ninja head down to Underworld, and when being overrun by the Skullkin army, they decide to do something hinted at in the earlier part of the episode.
Huh? You feel a weird sensation?
You ate an odd crustacean?
I got it! 2 natives on vacation. Huh?
Tornado of creation!
This is the ninja combining their Spinjitzu tornadoes into one giant one that in fact can create anything, but in this case, a big bone Ferris wheel that traps all the undead inside. We cut to Wu fighting his brother when the ninjas suddenly barge in but are taken out by Samukai, who steals their weapons. Garmadon then asks for the golden weapons, but Samukai refuses, as tries to overthrow Garmadon. But all 4 weapons are too much for him, and he just gets evaporated. And in his place, a portal opens, and Garmadon is able to jump through to whereabouts unknown at the moment. Our heroes then unite at the village and begin to celebrate, but their journey has only just started. If you cannot tell, the Ninjago story is very dense, but also great, mostly because the 4 ninja are really great together and Wu's the best. Getting to some character stuff, Cole acts like the older brother of the group, and the one who's always making small remarks in the background. We thought that would be Jay, who's the goofball and comes across as the jokester, but still a smart inventor. Zane is very soft-spoken, mysterious, and just a chill dude, pun fully intended. All 3 don't really have much going on for them in the beginning, but that's because Kai has the most going on for him. He's arrogant and always rushing. After all, he's just here to save his sister, but we have some learning to do about his flaws. Because Nia was the damsel in distress, she wasn't really doing much, but he did get a good feel for overall character. Garmadon is underwhelming. Sure, he has hype for him, but in the end, he just leaves. The ninja don't even fight him. I guess Kai a little bit, but still, status quo is set, and it's only the beginning, not only for the show, but our video series as well. There are some big things I did leave out, but this video is already pretty long, already gave you a lot of information, and I think this might be a good stopping point, obviously. So we will meet again for the Ninjago series proper for Rise of the Snakes.
Does she like blue?
Back off.